Well, Rishi Sunak was back in the Commons today for his second ever Prime Minister's Questions. There was, of course, lots to talk about. The big topic so far this week has been migration. Well, our political editor, Andy Bell, is in Westminster now. Andy, some tough moments for the new PM.
Yes, Julian, when Rishi Sunak took over, obviously the burning issue was the economy, and largely it still is. But this question of how the whole asylum system is being managed, how his Home Secretary has been handling it, that has really grown as an issue that the Prime Minister has to deal with, and it's kept him under more pressure today.
This is the Asylum detention centre at Manston in Kent. Too many people who've crossed the Channel are being held here for too long. And the failure to move enough people out has focused attention on the whole creaking asylum system.
Are you failing on immigration, Prime Minister?
So as Rishi Sunak set off for Prime Minister's Questions, he must have known this would probably come up.
His Home Secretary says the asylum system is broken. Who broke it?
The Prime Minister's reply was not really about the asylum system.
We delivered Brexit. We ended the free movement of people, Mr. Speaker. That's our record on migration policy.
If the asylum system is broken and his lot have been in power for 12 years, how can it be anyone's fault but theirs?
Border control is a serious, complex issue. But not only does the party opposite not have a plan, they have opposed every single measure we have taken to solve the problem. You can't attack a plan if you don't have a plan.
Of all the people who arrived in small boats last year, how many asylum claims have been processed?
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, not enough is the answer, very straightforwardly. Not enough. And that's what we're going to fix.
But the pressure wasn't only coming from the other side.
Everybody on this side of the chamber wants you to succeed in this aim. When can we expect the firm action the British people are demanding?
The government says it wants to speed up returns to Albania, whose citizens this year account for almost a third of those crossing the Channel. But this immigration lawyer says you can't make assumptions on the basis of where they're from.
You have to assess people's claims. It's not just because they come. I mean, I've seen asylum seekers come from countries all over the world where you'd think, well, I wouldn't mind going and live there. That's not what it's about. What it's about is, what is your particular story? What are you fleeing, and can you prove it?
Manston is the immediate crisis, but the asylum system in general is the bigger issue, and fixing both has emerged as a big problem for the new Prime Minister.
Andy, we haven't had one for a few days, but another U-turn by the Prime Minister today.
That's right. The Prime Minister said he is now going to go to the environmental summit COP27 in Egypt. This time last week he was saying basically there's too much pressure on, I haven't got enough time because I've got to work out that economic statement which is due on November the 17th. Today he announced in a tweet that he would be going to the summit in Egypt, saying there is no long-term prosperity without action on climate change. So he will be going. I understand it's going to be quite a sort of flying visit. Maybe his decision was influenced by the fact that a previous Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has confirmed that he is going to be at that environmental summit. People might remember Boris Johnson hosting COP26 in Glasgow last year. So some people are saying, well, finally Rishi Sunak's made the right decision. Others are saying, hang on, you made a decision, you should have stuck to it. But now Rishi Sunak is going to go to that COP27 environmental summit in Egypt.
Andy, thank you very much for that.